just got in. I don't think our summer has been bad so far. Just the others around us moving quickly with massive signings has lowered people's patience. I don't see you signing a striker. You've got too many already. Fair enough. I'm pretty sure we'll sign a striker. Whether they'll be good enough is a completely different thing. But if Arsenal don't sign a striker, well, pack up the league, bro. Pack up the league because you're not serious. I hope despite all of that, we do what needs to be done, but you're not serious. Smash the like button, people. You know, I'm a man of my words. So now with 100 likes, transfer news. Don't forget 4 p.m., 9 p.m. UK time. There's other live bits and pieces from myself, people. But yeah, man, let me share my screen. Let's crack on, guys and girls, man. Big up you lot tuned in. The first thing I want to say is actually thank you for you lot support, people, because you know this was 8 years ago. This was my first video. I don't know why, but someone commented on it today. Crazy what we've been able to achieve. Trust the process, people. This is a process you can trust. But yeah, big up you lot. We're starting with Gyokeres. As you would have seen in the last 24 hours, Gyokeres has been linked with many clubs, primarily Arsenal. And a man said DG 115 likes, Man City 115 charges. You're crazy, but as I was saying, Gyokeres has been linked with many a team. He's been linked with Liverpool here and there, probably aggressive over the last 24 hours, probably because it looks like Napoli are aggressively trying to get Darwin Núñez. And Liverpool could do with a striker. They've been linked with Isaac, innit? So apparently Liverpool's hat has been thrown into the ring with Gyokeres, in which, boy, they've won the Premier League. You know, they've been the only team that's been able to pip City to such. They've won the Champions League not too long ago. Arne Slot's doing his thing. They've got good players there. If you're a striker, Salah, all them guys playing with them, it'd be great. The only thing you would say is you wish you probably played with Trent because you probably could have got some more assists. It makes sense. You could live in London, though. Personally, though, I don't think we're on to Gyokeres. I think Gyokeres is the contingency plan. I think the club wants Sesko personally, just because done a lot of groundwork, the star of tomorrow kind of thing. I don't think we're gonna do that if I'm completely honest with you. I don't. And yeah, I'm talking about experience, but and I don't necessarily care about the age, but Norgaard 31. Gyokeres 27. Fair enough, Kepa's back up, but he's quite experienced. To be fair, even to a degree, Zubimendi at 26. You know, our club gets a bit excited around late teens to early 20s, which is it's Sesko, sorry. So I can't see us going for it. But nonetheless, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea as well as United apparently monitoring Mr. Gyokeres. And again, I don't believe the Gyokeres thing necessarily because Darwin Núñez apparently agreed personal terms with Napoli. So maybe journalists are being a bit creative. Sammy Motbell, big up the latte firm, big him up. If everything went according to plan and Arsenal get who they wanted to get, it'd be Sesko. But things in football might not go as you'd expect. Up until today, there is no clear favourite on which deal will progress, I assume. Maybe the journalists. I'd be very shocked if internally at Arsenal, whether it is Gyokeres, whether it is Sesko, they know which one they want in it. They know which one they want. If there was a vote inside of Arsenal of the people that matter, we all matter, would be more universal backing for Sesko than Gyokeres, but both deals are being worked on so they can move on one when exact figures involved become apparent. I'm not saying Arsenal will sign Sesko, but if they get a good money deal for him, he's the preferred option. So that kind of is piggybanking of what I said and what some of you are saying. Sesko is the first option, but Leipzig want more money. He didn't request for outrageous wages or release clause to be inserted in any contract. Arsenal reached out to Gyokeres camp 4 days ago to ask for the conditions on the deal. Arsenal not putting their eggs in one basket. So we're hearing the same things, people. And to be honest, Sport in Lisbon are apparently signing Luis Javier Suarez. Couldn't tell you about him, but he's a striker. So they're getting their own little replacement. So maybe when they get him through the door, wherever Gyokeres ends up, we'll have confirmation. You would have also seen yesterday, apparently, Sesko started following Arsenal on social media. Could just be following us for the sake of it, but adds fuel to the fire. Arsenal offer will hit the post. Gunners expected to bid in the coming days, but it's too low. 1 second. Okay. Don't know why my TV just randomly turned on, but let's get back into this. Viktor Gyökeres is splashed across the front page of Thursday's edition of Ebola with the newspaper claiming another offer from Arsenal is on the way. The Gunners have already offered 55 million euros plus a potential 10 million euros in bonus payments. I don't believe that because 1 minute we've bidded, well, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Then we've not bidded. Then it's verbal bids. Then the president speaking. Then Gyökeres strike threats. Then he's getting a new boot sponsor. He's changing to Adidas and Nike. It's all long now, man. It's all long. I tab release. Allow me. How are we gonna go through this then? How are we gonna go through this? Allow me, man. So yeah, them tabs might be the only thing stopping us on the transfer market. Jokes on you, because we've got 2 CPUs in there. This laptop can handle it. Tranquillo, respect, like Jose Mourinho said. But anyways, and I give you a lot of content. Anyways, for the mature individuals that are listening, big up you lot. Smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. In Portugal, people, sorry, I'm reading ahead. The Gunners have already offered 55 million plus a potential further 10 million in bonus payments, an offer which wasn't made formally. So we haven't bid it officially. So is that verbal? Is that we just floated it in conversation? In Portugal, there's no desire to receive formal offers until a bid has been agreed because there's often contract clauses related to them. For example, if Sporting receive a 60 million euros formal offer for Gyokeres and reject it, then the player's agent would be due compensation of a 10% of the fee. Such a scenario would make the situation even more warlike, especially in today's day and age. We probably shouldn't compare it to war than it is now. Sporting have told their local media that if it were to happen, then the player's asking price would revert to his 100 million euros clause. Anyways, a bowler report Arsenal are now willing to go to 60 million euros, presumably with the 10 million euros in bonus payments still involved somehow. That is something which a bowler say could happen in the next few days, but it's also stated such a bid will hit the post and not land in the empty net, which would trigger the striker's exit. It's worth noting that the Sporting president, Federico Varandas, said the following earlier this month: Sporting will not demand the termination clause, but they should know me better by now. Threats, blackmail, insults do not work with me. One thing I can guarantee, Gyokeres will not leave for 60 million plus 10 million. He will not leave because I never allowed it. And with this game that the agent is playing, it only makes the situation worse. Could his agent and Sporting's little disagreement, could that be affecting an Arsenal, a Liverpool, a Man United, and all these clubs in the pursuit of Gyokeres? I don't know. It's worth noting. It's worth noting. This is coming from a bowler, not Record or Breno Bidon, who have been the best on this so far. It's also worth noting Sporting are due back in training on July the 1st. Wednesday's claims of Carreo de Mania reporting Liverpool are in the chase appeared to have been twisted somewhat. The newspaper said the Reds' interest had come from the British press and that they were covering that. So it's a lot of mind games. Arsenal hope to have a deal for Brentford captain Christian Nørgaard wrapped up by the weekend. The Gunners have moved quickly for Norgaard. Wow, we've moved quickly in the transfer market. It can be done. Tabling a 9.3 million bid on Wednesday, and Brentford are prepared to accept the midfielder's desire to play in the Champions League. Personal terms have already been agreed and a medical scheduled, with Norgaard set to replace Jorginho. Key name Jorginho, who has departed from Flamengo. Thomas Partey, whose Arsenal contract is due to expire at the end of the month. Norgaard will add experience and leadership to Arsenal, joining Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi in bolstering the Gunners' ranks in the middle of the park. Kepa is also poised to arrive from Chelsea. Norgaard, who signed a new 2-year contract at Brentford in March, stayed at the G-Tech Community Stadium last summer amid interest from Liverpool and Chelsea, as he felt indebted to now departed head coach Thomas Frank. Oh, so Chelsea and Liverpool wanted him. We got agendas. Now, however, with Frank at Tottenham, Norgaard is keen to pursue a move from Brentford, with the club happy to respect his loyalty after 6 years in West London. Spare a thought for Brentford. Lost their manager. Probably going to lose Visa. Going to lose Mbeumo. Lost your captain. Darkness, man. Lost Ben Mee as well. Big up Ben Mee. Making 34 appearances in the Premier League and scoring 5 goals. He's also been linked with a reunion with Frank at Spurs. Norgaard, who has been in Denmark this week as his wife gives birth, is set to join compatriot Frank, and Bryan Mbeumo, who's moved to Man United, is imminent in leaving Brentford this summer. With their head coach, star forward, and captain all leaving, Brentford are in a peculiar position heading into their 5th successive season in the Prem. And I hope they stay up for what it's worth, people. Pardon me, the whole package. Expert believes Arteta is securing a superb signing for Arsenal. We don't need to gas it. It's calm. Christian is a fantastic guy. I have nothing but good things to say about him. This is from Frank Arneson. Wasn't you a scout? You meet players many times in your life, but I always hope this one would have a fantastic career. He's got that. He's become captain of Brentford and has done incredibly well. If he can take the step up and come to Arsenal, it would be fantastic. Every dressing room would be thrilled to have him. He has the right mentality as a team player and has the attitude. And he's a bit of a see you next Tuesday. Fair play. Fair play. But that's all good. Sign the bad boys. Partey set to leave as a free agent. We've already known that. And talks about getting a deal for Norgaard are still progressing. We've heard this for the best month. He's set to leave. He has been pictured in Spain, though. Maybe he was going to do that anyways, but he's technically with the Arsenal players. So is it done? Is it done? Or is there small hope? Myles Lewis-Skelly signed a new contract. We're going to circle back on that. Where Rodrigo is concerned, Jabi Alonso said, I see Rodrigo in good shape. He was on the bench for a technical decision. He's still important. We'll need him at the Club World Cup. He's a special player and will play a key role. Does that sound like a manager that wants to let him go? I'm not too sure. We've been linked with Breno Bidon, 20-year-old. Apparently, he's received several offers from Benfica Sport in Portugal, Wolves, Brighton, Arsenal in England, and clubs in Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands. I like him. Think he's got potential. Think it could be a market opportunity. He's like a Brazilian Spanish midfielder, comfortable in the 8, scope to grow. But for obvious reasons, with Zubamendi coming in, Norgaard coming in, and the existing options, I don't buy it too much, especially because Corinthians, you probably want top money for this guy. So I just can't see it happening, people. But we've been linked with him. At least it's a new name. Izan Khan of the Daily Mail said, sources close to the club suggest Sporting's keenness to offload Gyokeres has become clearer by the day and arguably weakened their hand. Internally, there are already reservations over the player. Sources say Leipzig are driving a hard bargain for Sesko because they know all too well how desperate Arsenal are for a striker. It is for this reason and Arsenal's desire to not spend way over their budget for a striker that there is a delay. Berta is said to have other striker options too, which he's in negotiations over. If a deal for Sesko or Gyokeres was not to materialize, the prospect of a surprise name entering the frame is apparently a possibility, people. The Mail also understands Mikel Arteta wants a striker in before pre-season, where we go to Hong Kong and Singapore, which we fly out on the 19th of July. Both Sesko and Gyokeres have been strongly linked, but it's understood that Sesko is the priority. At least in the same article, more or less, at least 5 signings are to be made in the summer, which Arsenal insiders say will definitely be a packed one. In terms of incomings, a striker is front and center of the club's priority list, while a defender is also on that list. So they said 5, right? Surely it's got to be more because what? Kepa, Norgaard, Zubamendi, assume the Mosquera, assume Sesko. That's a left winger short. And I'd be amazed if we don't sign a left back for what it's worth. But what do you lot make of that? Arsenal are really keen to sign Hato and be loath to miss out on a player they've been tracking since he was 15, says Graham Bailey. I wonder, keep that in mind. I wonder that's going to mean for us. As I said, Myles Lewis-Skelly has signed a new deal. It's been, he signed a 5-year deal. He's one of the best played young players in the world. So shout out to him, his mother, Marcia, his grandma, his whole family, man. Myles Lewis-Skelly, we love you, mate. We love you. So yeah, it's been officially confirmed. He's actually spoken and also said himself, I'm so proud and happy. I know those words are simple, but I think they sum up how I feel signing for this club. I'm a fan and it's like a dream come true. I've embodied the values of Haaland and come through. I love the way the man speaks as well. I've still got a lot of years ahead of me. So if I can keep staying humble and being a good person, that's the most important thing for me. 49, Lewis-Skelly, future captain. I know I've taken a lot of experience from the games about the positive moments, the mistakes I've made. I'm definitely more ready now for next season. I just want to keep learning and keep improving. This is the man that they said is arrogant and needs to know his place. And we all know the witch hunt that started. He's not going to be the first nor the last black youth that's villainized, isn't it? Somehow, Garnacho wearing Rashford's Aston Villa shirt, Rashford's getting strays. Anyways, it is what it is. I want a legacy. I want to win everything there is to win in the game. I want to win trophies on the biggest stage while being a person that's always learning and stays grounded, which is so important. You know what? I was watching highlights of Lewis-Skelly yesterday, and you're not making Valverde and doing a madness in the Champions League. It's a movie, really and truly. What's this? Again, this was a think piece. Obviously, several members of staff are going to be at the forefront of getting Lewis-Skelly a new deal over the line. We all know how the good work his mother does actually around youth academies and teaching parents about academy football. And obviously, she's a licensed agent. And you're actually seeing this. A lot of family members are starting to get involved in players' dealings. And actually, you're seeing a lot of players handle negotiations themselves and seek people on a consultancy basis, which is good. It's good stuff. I mean, you can't always trust family, but in this case, you can. So yeah, man, big up Myles Lewis-Skelly and big up everyone. I'm happy, man. Easily one of my favorite players. Kepa has completed his medical at Arsenal on Wednesday and formal steps will follow. 5 million release clause already activated. That was Fabrizio Romano. If this would load, we'll get to see what the hell this is. What's this? Okay, this is just a random tab. Apparently, this Christian Mosquera guy had the best ground duel win rate in La Liga last season of players to contest 100+ duels. Fair play. We're definitely going to get into that in just a second, people. Just cool, man. Yeah, so Kepa's completed his medical and he's expected to be announced by the club in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's what Sky Sports is saying. If there's a deal to be done for Rodrigo, Arsenal would be keen to do it. His future at Real Madrid is far from clear, and a move, if Arsenal encouraged to make an offer, would not be expected to happen until much later in the window. That is being reported by Sam Dean of The Telegraph. What's this? We've made an inquiry. Apparently, Arsenal have spoken to West Ham about signing Mohamed Kudus, people. It wouldn't shock me if Arsenal had made a call about or an inquiry for Mohamed Kudus. This is by Sammy Motbell, because there's been interest there in the past. And my information on Kudus is that all of the top 6 in the Premier League have checked in on the conditions of that deal. He's obviously got an 85 million release clause to Premier League clubs, but I think West Ham would be willing to take below that because they need to reinvest, basically. They need money to reinvest in the squad. They wouldn't take masses below that, but they would certainly be open to negotiations. So Kudus is an interesting one because there's long-term interest there. And as I understand, there's been an inquiry, as I say, from the Premier League's top 6, which Arsenal are one of them, people. Arsenal are still to prioritize Rodrigo over Mohamed Kudus, apparently. David Ornstein, you would have seen, has said Arsenal are working on a deal to sign Valencia defender Mosquera. Arsenal are working on a deal to sign Valencia defender Christian Mosquera. The North London club have made a defensive signing a priority this summer, with the 20-year-old Spain youth international growing Spanish influence currently their preferred option. Mosquera has been with Valencia since age 12, progressing through the academy ranks before making his first team debut in January of 2022. He has made 90 appearances for the La Liga club in total, including 41 last season. That included playing 90 minutes in 37 of the club's 38 games. So you're durable. A right-footed and physically imposing centre-back, Arsenal see Mosquera as ideal cover for first-choice pairing Gabriel and William Saliba. They previously looked at Howson before he left Bournemouth for Real Madrid earlier this summer. Saliba, in brackets, 51 appearances last season, and Gabriel Magalhaes, 42, played the majority of the games in central defence last term, with Kivior, Timber, Ben White, Calafiori, the backup options. Born to Colombian parents in Spain, Mosquera is also eligible to play for Colombia's senior national team, but is featured regularly through Spain's youth setup, including at this summer's under-21s European Championships. We did try to sign Viktor Gyökeres. We were linked with Mark Gurhey. Clearly, we need defensive reinforcements in that regard. BBC Sport understands Agami featured prominently on Arsenal's list of potential targets to replace Thomas Partey. Crucially, however, it's understood Mikel Arteta identified Christian Nørgaard because he preferred a Premier League-ready player, especially with players coming in for another league. But that's another way of Arteta getting his own way. Don't want to hear excuses in that regards, people. Berta hasn't forgot him. Director leading Arsenal interest in 30 million euros transfer. Who is this about? So we've been linked with another defender simultaneously. Who though? Arsenal and Atletico Madrid are considering a move for Inter Milan's Carlos Augusto this summer. That's according to FC Internews, who state Arsenal sporting director Berta is leading their pursuit. Berta spent 12 years with the La Liga club and stepping down from his role as director in January. 2 months later, he joined Arsenal. We know this. Atletico Madrid have long been following the left back. Oh, so he's a left back. So yeah, it makes sense. Even when Berta was at the club, the report states the Italian had carefully evaluated his profile before leaving the club for the Gunners. Atletico are still in the picture for the 26-year-old, while FC Internews indicate Arsenal's interest is mainly because of their director. They state Berta hasn't forgotten. We probably need a left back, if I'm honest with you. But boy, because is Calafiori going to get injuries? Probably. Is Tomiyasu going to get injuries? Probably. Myles Lewis-Skelly, he could go through a loss of form, could get injured and whatnot. Zinchenko is cutting. Tini's gone. The depth isn't as strong as it might appear on paper when the season plays out. Apparently, Augusto was immediately embraced by Chivia, and therefore the Serie A club haven't placed him on the market. If there's a stale, the report states that Inter will need at least 30 million euros to start a negotiation. Fair play in that regard. So yeah, big up hand of Arsenal, because he said we're targeting this guy and we're hoping to beat rivals to that pursuit. Romano has confirmed that as well. Let's get it done. We're getting a move on, and it's not even July. Imagine all this gets announced. I'm not gonna lie, yeah. You see, when I just read that, I thought David Ornstein tweeted about Rodrigo. I was getting excited, but that appears all the transfer news, people. We need to win now, not in 3 years. Another underwhelming signing. When are we going to sign some world-class players? I'm with that. Skelly should play left centre mid. It'd be nice. I prefer him in the 6, but I hear that. No track-back issues with Martinez. The MLS video was wholesome. The Arsenal family is legit. He's a fan, player, and a baller. Lautaro Martinez is a player I'd be happy with. I can't lie. We're not going for him, though. He's going to cost a lot, man. He's going to cost a lot, and I just can't see it. He has a year left on his contract, so should be a cheap talent at centre back with a lot of upside. If he becomes reliable backup and, you know, goes beyond that and he's able to push either Magalhaes or Saliba, great. If he improves and there's a sale to be made at some point, because we got to remember the club do care about that resale value stuff, even better, really and truly, people. 153 likes. Can we get to 200, or is that dream chasing? We need more French players, always Spanish. But I told you, Kudus, cam/right wing. What's going to pee me off is announcing the keeper signing before the striker signing. I hear it. I hear it. I hear it. What else are you lot saying? Skelly and Ethan just getting started. Free Rashford for real, just not for us. Plus them wages are wham. Do you think we'll get a forward? I like how Berta is doing, not getting scammed by teams like we did. 11 million for a decent midfielder and captain and a great backup goalkeeper for 5 million. I think we get a striker, but boy, who knows? Justice for Rashi. It's never going to happen. Sad to see Partey go. I didn't want Partey to leave, but it is where it is, man. It's something that was going to need to happen, and it forces us to just move on, man. What's this Cherky and Foden beef I'm seeing on TikTok? God give me seniority to accept the things I can't change. Fits well with Arsenal, DG. I hear that. At least you admit he doesn't track, but now trying to justify it. Would it work for us? Is bemusing. Are you his agent? Who? They outscore their opponents, and Trent is a midfielder playing right back. Timber is a centre back playing right back. Not a good example. Okay, you lot must be chatting in the chat, because I don't think I said anything. Norgaard living the dream, doesn't have to move house. Such a good opportunity for him. Just a bit more on his commute, innit, really? Stay in London, get a move to a bigger club, play in the Champions League. Is what it is. When you see the fee is in euros and not pounds, the original source is foreign. Overpaying for players just for the sake of getting them now is stupid. I hear that. Why is it taking so long to bid on players we need in the positions we need? What's the hold up? They should just pay the money and move on to the next. Gyokeres would work. Gyokeres working hard, bro. His skill just like Luis Suarez, but he's without diving, bro. He's a monster. I like Gyokeres, but the only thing him and Luis Suarez have in common is that they're both strikers, man. I don't know about that one, dear. I see us getting Sesko going. I see us getting Sesko going to Arsenal and Gyokeres going for Juventus due to them being the only club in the Champions League willing to take the risk on him. I hear it, man. Look at all those tabs. That processor is probably spitting blood. Hey, better start working, man. You lot just hating just because you lot's laptops turn off. It's all right, man. Trust the process. It's all right, man. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. DG, most aren't delusional. We all have seen this before. The only thing consistent about our club, we have consistency, not win shit. When will it end? Oh, we win something, man. But boy, depth cover for Saliba, Gabriel signings. Boy, so yeah, man, hopefully we get a move on. You know, if they announce all these things July the 1st, great. But get me my striker and left winger, man. Because this all great. People can gas up the signings and say, you know, Norgaard, Mosquera, Kepa, might not be excited about them, but you can see, okay, not breaking the bank, you're getting moves done. This summer is going to be summed up by the left winger and the striker. And simply put that in it, really. That's what we need. You can do all of this. If you fall short in that regards, we know the writing's on the wall, man. Is Berta cooking? He's getting things done. No, them bid and get rejected days are over. That was an Edu thing. Berta don't pull the trigger unless the deal is agreed. It's business. While I want to see the club get a move on and that, I'm not. There are some situations where you just, of course, got to put down the money. But just because, bro, it's negotiations. I am with every Arsenal fan, 1,000,000%. It's a bit frustrated seeing other bad boy players go to other teams, know what we want to address, can see how these competent signings plug gaps, but you want everything. But this is business. You're not going to just run 70 million. There's things going on in the background. I'm not even saying that to gas the club. So we can be patient in that regards. That being said, get a move on. Saying just pay the money because for paying money's sake, that's not how business works. The buying club is, in theory, wants to pay a bit less and tailor things. The selling club wants to get a bit more. That's business. You've got to come to some resolution, bro. So yeah, I'm not going to cry about that. I don't think Rodrigo will do well in the Prem. I personally would prefer Kudus. Just spend the peas, man. I want Rodrigo. I'm happy with all of them, but just spend the peas. Whether it works out or not, just spend the peas. I would have preferred a Gomi and Garcia as a way of future-proofing those positions. I hear that, but in reality, I'm not saying I was right, but I knew the Garcia thing is not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. Like, you'll find, obviously he's gone Barca now, but you're starting to make inroads for Espanyol. You're starting to sniff around the Spain squad. How long are you going to want to be number 2 before Arsenal might either have to sell him, or I'm not saying Raya deserves this, but we've seen the whole Ramsdale and Leno, Ramsdale and Raya. It weren't making sense. At some point, something's going to have to give. And I don't think there's any Arsenal fan or any content creator that loves youth football more than me, talent ID more than me, seeing players develop more than me. The track records are there, like with a Gourmet. Not that I know everything, it's all there. We're in win now mode. And I do think we're in this trap of always thinking about tomorrow, which you should do. You can't think about the past too much, but you can never forget it. You can't always think about the future. You need to live in the present, and we need people who are going to do this thing right now. But we are going to have to put on the whiteboard at London Coley, in my opinion, a younger midfielder or two. And I'd love an 8 and I'd love a 10. That ain't happening this summer, though. Like, there's no reality where you're going to have the perfect age of all these players. So, yeah, man. Likes up for DJ, giving us constant live news and footy chat. Without you lot, it'd be tied. We need another defender still. We need to win now, not in 3 years. That's where we're at with it, man.